Feel the numbers moving. Are they moving?
Yep.
Focus on the hands, okay?
Behind you. Sure. Oh no, you can keep working that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, and these guys too do that. Yeah, especially those two that split. Really pull those out, pull those away from each other so you get room in there to get your splint. So you don't end up with that little rise that happens in the back. It's right now it's very small. Very small. And so as long as it's kind of both of these are 40. And then what we want to do is put a little taper on each end of this,
Okay.
so that where they overlap,
Okay.
there's not an extra big bulge.
Yep.
Um, and you kind of start at the tip. It might be easier too to work off right
Yeah,
up
the
here.
table.
And you just want to, we can adjust these so that they're.
You said it was 5-inch overlap?
Yeah.
What type of wood are the rims?
This is birch.
Birch. Okay. What's the dimensions?
Dimensions are at about 1/4 inch by 3/4 of an inch,
Okay.
5/8.
Any particular grain orientation, or you just?
Yeah, I try to get it flat grain, as flat a growth rings as possible.
Flat this way. And look at this, and the growth things look like they're going up and down.
Right, right.
Yeah. Okay.
And, you know, trying to find wood that doesn't have too many grain changes in it.
Yeah.
So, like all this wood is from when I have the stock mill for the ski class, and that stuff's all sawn as much with the grain, so the tapered end we usually block up, so that we're sawing with the grain, so there's not as much grain cuts. So this stuff works pretty good for that, because it's already pretty well, carefully sawn. The best thing to use for rims though would be split wood that you
Okay.
actually rive out of a log.
Okay,
Like a ash, except you could take your, you cut your chunk that you're gonna pound on, and then you take the next chunk up, and you can get a lot of rims out of that usually.
okay,
And you just split it down and down until you have a split piece, and that has no cuts through the grain,
right.
right? So it's super strong and is much
Very
less likely to
flexible.
break.
Very flexible.
Some of these might break. There might be a few of these that just have the wrong grain and,
Okay, so on the other end of this, let's do it this side,
right.
okay.
Yep.
And what do we use to wrap it around the actual basket?
Yep, yep, and it's just gonna be kind of rough. It won't be perfect right now, but as you lash it down, you kind of
Cinch it
squeeze
down.
it down into your shape. It's hard to come up with a real, obviously you look around, you see the baskets, they're all very different, so it's
Yeah.
hard to come up with like a form that we could bend around,
Sure.
because every basket ends up different.
Yep,
So, yeah, it's just kind of a rough fit. And then they'll dry tonight. And it's really important that you dry your rim before you actually lash it on, because the rim will shrink too. So your lashing would then become loose if you lash on wet.
so we're gonna form this around here, get our ends tapered, form it around here, and then fasten it, just tie it
Just
up and leave
clamp
it
it,
dry?
yeah, and we're just gonna leave it to dry, leave
Okay.
everything to dry. So once the rims are bent and on, that's pretty much it for the day.
Okay,
And then, so for this taper, you want to bring this tip down to really, really thin. So it's easily, it's pretty bendable, so it's not trying to push the rim out. So I usually kind of start at the tip and get it down close to what I want, and then work the plane kind of backwards, creating that taper. And I usually like to hold it just a little bit skewed, so that it kind of does a nice shave rather than digging in.
And are you shaving on the opposite side on the other side?
Yep.
Where they
Yep.
intersect?
Yep. Then I'll do it on this side here. So the same thing. And then we'll heat these up. This wire's not comfortably hot enough to try to do some bending with. So what I have done in the past, I thought, oh, I'll get that thing heated up and we'll just use it. Maybe I left it outside, but I usually use like a PVC pipe, the cap on one end, and then I boil some water, and then just fill it,
Oh, just fill it up.
just pour it in, pour the boiling water in there, and just let it sit for like 10 minutes. And that's usually enough. And then the nice thing with the PVC pipe is all you need is a little tea kettle.
right,
You don't need a big tank of water
Right.
to just get this one little
Cool.
bit. So I might have to run to the hardware store and grab a cap for that PVC pipe. Will you guys kind of shave these down? And everybody else can keep working on their weeding.
We'll get more weavers to put in.
Yep, and I put some more stock here for weavers, so, the tools, cutting tools. These guys. So if you just wanna, probably don't use them on that table, but using them on this table or the work with the edges on the wall.
So
just
the
cut
weavers out of those wet ones, out of the wet strips?
Yeah,
Okay,